Hey, Oxygen Youth. So we're gonna start the night out again with worship. So you can join me in worship wherever you are, whether you're in your living room or your bedroom, wherever you are. So thank you for the wilderness, where I learned to thirst for your presence. If I never known that place, how could I have known you were better? Thank you for the lonely times when I learned to live in the silence as the other voices fade. I can hear you calling me Jesus, and it's worth it all just to know you more. You've done great things, Jesus. Your love never fails me. My soul will sing. You have done great things. Thank you for the scars I bear. They declare that you are my healer. How could I have seen your strength if you never shown me my weakness? And it's worth it all just to know you more. You've done great things, Jesus. Your love never fails me. My soul will sing. You have done great things. You've done great things. In weakness, you are my victory. My soul will sing. You have done great things. Through the fire and the flood, you will never let me go, and my soul will sing. You have done great things. I am weak, you are strong. You will always be my hope, and my soul will sing. You have done great things. Through the fire and the flood, you will never let me go, and my soul will sing. You have done great things. I am weak, you are strong. You will always be my hope, and my soul will sing. You have done great things. You've done great things, Jesus. Your love never fails me. My soul will sing. You have done great things. You've done great things. In weakness, you are my victory. My soul will sing. You have done great things. My soul will sing. You have done great things.
Hey, Oxygen. Thanks for joining us tonight, or today, or whatever day it is, whenever you're catching this. And I hope you are having a great summer so far. If your summer has started, I hope your school year is ending well for those of you who are still in school. And tonight we're just changing things up a little bit. We're doing the game last. That way, in case any of you are late, you get to catch that at the end. And then we'll also have a Zoom live chat afterwards. So you should see the link for that right in the live chat. Be able to click on that right now and get ready to join that once it starts. That's just a quick time afterwards where we say hi, connect, hear what's going on with everyone, and it's usually short, and then we get back to whatever we have going on tonight. So I wanted Amelia to, by the way, thank you, Amelia, for singing that song. It's a great reminder of the great things that God has done. He's done so much for us. And on that note, I just wanted to take a chance tonight, right now, just to kind of talk about great things that God has done. Where we've been, where we're going. Well, some of you, school's out. I know Noah and Abby, you're out of school already. Lucky you. Some of you are still in school and will be for another just under a week, right? Next Tuesday, or I think a week from next Tuesday. It's the 9th that a lot of you get out. So, a lot of you, you're still getting to the end. It's hard because you got a lot of nice weather, but at least you can get your work done in the morning, most of you, and be done by the afternoon to enjoy that beautiful weather that we've been having. But summer is coming. And with it, we will be kind of phasing to our summer break, where we'll have some activities, which we're still trying to figure out due to circumstances. But you have the summer, and then hopefully in the fall we start again. And before we leave off with our last Wednesday night next week, so this is our second to last Wednesday night, before we do that, before we break for the summer, I just wanted to kind of take an opportunity for 2 weeks to talk about what have we learned. So this has been a learning experience in so many ways, and I really, really hope that we've all learned something and that it hasn't just been something that we tolerate, but we come out stronger and better. So I just wanted to review a couple of things that I've seen that we should look back on, that we should remember. Maybe journal it if you write things in books. Maybe talk about it with your friends and just, kind of talk about how amazing this has been to see the things that you've seen, to be through the things that you've been through. I mean, think about it. What's happened in the past 3 months? We've seen a toilet paper shortage. Who ever thought we would have that in Green Bay, which is like the toilet paper capital of the world? We make almost all the toilet paper for the nation and for the world, especially North America. And here we have a shortage, had a shortage going on. So who really thought they'd ever see that? I didn't. Of course, that's the lighter side. There's a more serious and darker side to this that we also have been getting through. And to get through this season that we're going through and still have a hope, still have faith, proves me the first thing that I've noticed. One, you're tougher than you think you are. And you've heard the verse. You may have recited the verse that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. But this has given you an opportunity to live it, because without Jesus giving us strength, without him giving us hope, it is hard to make it through this season with a good attitude, with faith and hope intact. It's hard to be loving to each other, to other people. We've seen a lot of unloving stuff, and that's because it's hard to make it through this time. But you, if you've made it through this time, you are tougher than you thought you were. And that's because when we put our faith in God, he can get us through anything. So that's my first point. And these are things I just want you to think about and remember, so you can look back 15, 20 years from now. When you're telling your kids, whoa, when I was your age, that kind of thing. Someday you will look back on this and you will tell what it was like, and people won't believe you, because these are unbelievable times. So I want you to have some things to remember, some things that could shape you as a person and your generation. Secondly, one thing I've learned is that given all the time in the world, it is still hard. It takes effort for me to connect with God. I always thought that if I had all this time, that it would be easy, that it would come naturally, that I would just want to connect with God. And sometimes I do, but not every day, not every hour of every day. It takes effort. And there are things I hope that you have learned that you can do to keep that going throughout the day. Tuning out the noise, tuning out the social media, tuning out the distractions. For me, that might be one thing, for you another. For me, it's busy work, yard work, or work, or hobby work. It's just tasks that I'm always doing that distract me. For some of you, it might be video games, it might be music, it might be friends and social media. So just take some time throughout the day, tune that out, and tune God in. Take time to talk to him. Not just a little here, a little there, but the Bible actually says to pray without ceasing. You've heard that, and that's kind of what it means. I hope that you've learned that lesson, that you don't need to be in a particular place to pray, to be with God. And that leads me to the third point. The church is not a building. This is something else that we've learned. At least I hope we've learned. The church is not just a place. It's not where we go. A church is a group of people following Jesus. And you know what's so cool is that it's during these toughest times that the church has been the strongest. And I hope that through this, your generations, the younger generations who are being shaped by this, will show that this only strengthens your faith. This only makes you more and more committed to following Jesus. It'll take more than a pandemic to stop the church. Because now is the easiest time for us to be Jesus followers. So I ran across a verse, and I thought it pretty much summed everything up. And I want to tell you why I think now is one of the easiest times to follow Jesus. Listen to this verse. It's 1 Thessalonians 5, 16, 17, and 18. And you're going to like it because it is short and to the point. Listen to this. First, always be joyful. Think about it. If you can be joyful now, if you can be joyful in the midst of everything going on, what kind of difference can you show? To be joyful when everything's great, you don't look that different from the rest of everyone. But when you're joyful during these times, that's hard to miss. And that's why I think it's easier to be a Christian, to be a Jesus follower who makes a difference, who shows that they are different now more than any other time. Second, verse 17, it says, never stop praying. And I think the two are kind of linked. Always be joyful and never stop praying. Along with the next part, but never stop praying is what we were talking about before. When our life gets turned upside down and we don't go to church, we have church wherever we are, it's even more important that we are always in a state of mind where we bring God there with us. Where throughout everything that we see, everything that we do, we are joyful. And joyful isn't easy. It's hard work sometimes. We're stuck with our families. Come on. Everybody knows that's hard work. It's not easy to be joyful, but that's why the two go together, being joyful and praying. So always be joyful. Never stop praying. And then the third part, being thankful in all circumstances. Well, that's not easy to do. I never really meant it's easy to be a Christian. I meant it's easier to show that you're a Christian. during these times because being thankful takes a little bit more effort. Showing your joy takes a little bit more effort. But that little effort makes all the difference and shows all the difference to everyone who is around us. In all circumstances, we are called to be that, you've heard, be light in a dark world. And how much brighter can we shine when everything around us is so much darker? So I hope that you can keep that verse with you. Always be joyful, never stop praying, and be thankful in all circumstances, because this is God's will for those of you who belong to Christ Jesus. If you're a Jesus follower, it's pretty simple. It's really, really straightforward here. Joyful, always be connected to God, and be thankful in everything. So that's your assignment for this week, to get into that groove and remind yourself of those three things every day, to try to check and see how are you doing in those three areas. All right, let's close. Dear God, thank you so much that we can count on you. Thank you for being here with us in these times. Thank you that we still have each other and we have you, even in the midst of these times. Help us to be able to look back on this time years from now and see how it has sparked our faith, how it has helped us to grow stronger and know even more that you are real, that you are there, that you love us, that you have a plan in spite of all this. And in the middle of all this stuff going on, you are right here with us, and you want us to be close to you because you love us so much. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, thanks for letting me share that with you. So, just a couple announcements before we get into our game. We have a Zoom chat after this, and then on Friday, we also will have our Zoom game night. Last week, we had a couple of games that we did that were kind of like the one we do tonight, only we had, I think, about 5 or 6 different people going against each other and just making it kind of a team effort. So it was quite fun, and it was short and sweet, and I invite everyone to join us. Go to our GroupMe site, our GroupMe channel, for the game night Zoom link. And as I said, next Wednesday is our last Wednesday live stream. So without any further delay, let's get into our game. Tonight's game is Famous Rivals. All right, so everyone, here's how it works. There's going to be 3 different options. You get to choose which option you think is the correct answer. So, just as Batman has the Joker, Apple has Android, and I have mornings. Just kidding, for me it's really evenings. I'm more of a morning person. Sure, we all have rivals, but let's see if we can just get along and answer the following questions. You're going to see a question much like this one here. What cola company launched the blind taste test against its rival? Then you're going to see the answer. So if you know the answer to this, the first person to enter the correct answer in the live chat stream will get credit for 1 point. The person with the most points at the end, actually the top 2 people at the end, will have some sort of junk food, whether it be chocolate, licorice, fruity stuff, whatever. It will be delivered to your house in the next week. All right, so here it is. What company was it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pepsi. All right, next question. Baseball rivals New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox have how many combined World Series championships? I mean, these guys are serious business, but is it 35, 45, or 55? Now, This doesn't matter how they got them. Everyone seems to have an opinion. Some people say the Yankees bought their championships. Other people say they earned them. Regardless, we're not getting into that. How many combined World Series championships do they have? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 35. All right, next question. James Bond has a fair share of rivals, but just how many actors have played James Bond? 5, 7, or 9? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7. All right. Next up, Batman. This is history here. This is comic history or graphic novel history, if you prefer to call them that. Batman's rival, the Joker, first appeared in comics in what year? Are you surprised at how old those years are? Yes, Batman has been around that long. Is it 1920, 1930, or 1940? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Answer is 1940. Wow. All right, next question. Oh, this goes back in history. 1804, the Aaron Burr versus Alexander Hamilton duel was fought in what state on July 11th, 1804? Caleb's going crazy over here because he had AP US history and he knows the answer. But more important than that, that's on my birthday, July 11th. But I wasn't around yet. That was 1804. Is it New Jersey? Is it New York? Or Pennsylvania? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is New Jersey. All right. Okay. Two rivals of our Wisconsin Badgers are Ohio State and Michigan, but that's actually a very old rivalry between the two. The rivalry between Ohio State and Michigan dates back to an actual war over what? Was it a football game? Was it high taxes? Or was it the border? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was the border. All right. Next up, who was Rocky Balboa's Stars and Stripes showing wearing rival? Oh, I remember this. I even remember the theme song that goes along with this. This is great stuff here. Was it Clubber Lang? Was it Apollo Creed? Or was it Ivan Drago? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, it was Apollo Creed. If you watched any of the recent sequels, you knew that. All right, next question. For those of you, all right, so let's see. Will Wheaton became Sheldon Cooper's rival when Will didn't sign an autograph, show up at a Star Trek convention, or follow him on Twitter. Which is it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was because he did not show up at a Star Trek convention. Seems pretty typical. I could have seen that coming. All right, for those of you who grew up watching Looney Tunes, like I did, longstanding rivals Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, Meep Meep, have appeared in how many cartoons? 24, 48, or 72? Man, they've been in a lot of cartoons. I'm not sure I can figure this one out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is 48. Man, that's a lot of cartoons. I'm pretty sure I've seen all of them too. All right, last question. The real-life deadly rivalry between what two families lasted over a decade? Was it the Murphys and the Jacksons? Was it the Hatfields and the McCoys? Or was it the Smiths and the Joneses. No relation to me. This is a famous one. Caleb, where did this take place? What state? I think it was Kentucky. Dallas isn't a state. Oh, man. All right, which one is it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is the Hatfields and the McCoys. So we are going to see who is the winner, and we will announce it in just a few moments on our live stream or live chat via Zoom. So please join us. We'll be right on in about 5 minutes or less, and we will see you there. Good night, Oxygen. Have a great week.